All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about racism. And, not racism from an adult point of view, but from a child's point of view. Or children are the future. And, unfortunately, if you look around, these days and times, you don't have to look far. Social media, news, or what have you. You hear a lot about, critical race theory, being tossed. They don't want certain things learned. And, you have incidents, in schools where you have kids, bullying, kids, either racial bullying or all kinds of physical violence, there's just a lot going on. So, joining me today, all the way from the East Coast, is someone who decided to do something, about an incident that their child experienced. And I'm going to introduce her. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, North Kakalaka, y'all in the house. All right, come on, y'all. Come on. All right. Please put your hands together for Denisha Branch.
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well this evening.
All right. Okay, look here. Welcome to the platform. We hope, everything is great with you. And as I was, speaking on earlier, we're talking about racism. But before we even get into all of that, you basically created a book series, called Mackenzie and Friends. Can you talk about the book series itself? And we're going to ask a couple of more questions in a second.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually created a book series. The first book, of course, is entitled Mackenzie and Friends. I actually have the book series so you guys can kind of see the pictures, because I think it's important that, I'm very visual. So this is Mackenzie and Friends. And so this is a book that promotes love, diversity, and friendship. And what I did was, not only did I create books, I actually created an entire brand based on Mackenzie, who is actually my daughter. And so with the first book, Mackenzie and Friends, with promoting love, diversity, and friendship, it also promotes, phonological awareness, teaching children how to rhyme at a very early age. Also, it promotes, teaching children how to be bilingual or multilingual, because I have Spanish, French, and Japanese within the book. And see, this is really important because when you're talking about diversity, it's not just about, the color of your skin. It's about the languages. It's about the culture. It's about everything, not just race. And so I wanted the kids to understand that diversity is important from every level, from the way that I look, the way that I talk, the way that I dress, and the way that I walk. I think it's really important that we teach them that in the beginning. And so hence the series, Mackenzie and Friends, and my brand, Mackenzie Collections. Did you want me to talk about all the books that I have so far? Because I can keep going. I talked a lot. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a Southern Belle. I'll talk all day.
Well, yes, but can you please talk about some of the books that you also offer? Just take us through some of the books that are also in the book collection as well.
Yeah, so the first one, Mackenzie and Friends. And then here we have ABCs of Me, Mackenzie. Now, with the ABCs of Me, Mackenzie, this book actually teaches children the ABCs, but with a twist. Because when you're talking about diversity, when you're promoting that positive self-esteem, and you're trying to promote diversity within the community of children, you also got to promote self-esteem and confidence too, because this is the thing. With children, they'll bully other children because they don't feel good about themselves. And so hence, that causes all type of issues. And so with the ABCs of Me, Mackenzie, it's teaching children the ABCs, but with the twist. Like the letter S, fearfully and wonderfully made. So Ty, when I actually go to the schools, the camps, the child care centers, and just around Charlotte area and just North Carolina in general, I teach children, hey, the letter F, fearfully and wonderfully made. It doesn't matter if you're black, brown, blue, or purple. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. It also promotes entrepreneurship. I have the letter G, girl boss in the making, and I turn lemon into lemonade. Okay. And so it has the letter E, embrace others, differences with love. I want you to embrace everyone. It doesn't matter if they look different than you. Embrace them, because it's really important. Actually, I have the pictures here for the letter E because I think it's important. And I have the letter F as well. So this is the letter E right here, and the letter F. And as you can see, this Mackenzie is a duplicate of the Mackenzie that's right here behind me. So yeah, I think it's important. So I'm promoting everything because I think with children, because they're so young, you can mold their minds. And so what it's like what you put into a jar is what you get out. If you don't put any money into your bank account, you can't go and withdraw anything out, right? So what I'm trying to do is put that knowledge in there. And so when I say knowledge, I'm not just talking about, oh, just read a book. No, everything from every aspect, because it's really important. I want these kids to not only embrace diversity, but I want them to be like the letter S, smart with a lot of knowledge to share, because all of that is important. It really is important. And so the last book that I have here, this is actually a Spanish coloring book. So remember when I said diversity, right? Mm-hmm. From all aspects, not just, you know, the race and things. It's from every aspect, because I'm in Charlotte, you know, I'm not sure if you heard, but Charlotte is like a melting pot. You know, we have people from all over the world coming to good old Charlotte, the Queen City. And so, you know, here, majority of the individuals, they speak Spanish. And so this is a Spanish coloring book. So it teaches you, you know, the Spanish, like El Tiempo, you know, the weather, colores, like the colors, things like that, rojo, red. So it's teaching children and adults, because, you know, I'm still learning as well, and so is my daughter. But it's teaching you how to be, you know, bilingual, because it's really important. You're embracing someone else's language. So yeah, that's what I have so far as like the book series. And of course, you know, as time progresses, I'll continue to, you know, to write more books. But, you know, life, I tell everybody, life is a journey, right? You got to take one step at a time. And as you walk that journey, eventually you'll get to your destination. So right now I have 3 books, you know, years to come, I probably have 30 books, you know? So yeah, that's what we have right now.
Okay. Well, look, first and foremost, let me just say hats off to you. Okay. Because, you know, you are interconnecting all of the different, you know, cultures, you know, pretty much like you said, love, diversity, and friendship. And taking time, you know, even with like the Spanish coloring book, you know, that's taking time to learn, you know, a different language. That's taking time to break down a barrier that 9 times out of 10, at the end of the day, that's what keeps people from really getting along. You know, I can't communicate with you, you know, the way I will want to communicate with you. Primarily because I'm scared, or I just don't want to take the time to, you know, to get to learn your language. I think a lot of times, you know, we have people come over here and we want them to like bend to our way, but we don't take the time to like get to know them and their culture and their upbringing, you know, and, you know, just learn more about people who come to the melting pot. As you said, Charlotte, okay? I live here in Chicago, you know, yes, I know, man, there's people from all around the world, and sometimes, you know, taking, you know, the time to, you know, break down those barriers, you know, man, you never know. You just made a friend that you may have for life, and that could teach you something, you know, culturally, you know, about the world that you may not even. So there it is now. But so now let me ask, like this book series, like what ages are you geared towards, you know, as far as this book series goes?
Yeah, I say ages 0 through 8.
Okay.
0 through 8, yes. Now, of course, you know, if you have a 9 or 10-year-old that just really love Mackenzie, which I've had some 13 and 14-year-olds be like, oh my gosh, I want to see. So, but the appropriate age is 0 through 8. And I say 0 because, you know, it's never too early to start reading to your children. You know, I did like research, and, you know, because my minor was special education. So in the educational field, you know, they tell you, you know, put those headphones on that stomach and let that baby listen to some music, you know. So, and it's the same thing. Read to your babies when they're in the womb. It's never too early. You can let them listen to Bach and all these instrumentals. Let them pick up a book and read to them.
All right, hey, look, just trying to tell y'all now. Okay, all right, look, y'all gonna get this gospel. But now, there was an incident. Now, all of this was inspired by an incident that your daughter experienced. Your daughter experienced racism. Can you talk a little bit about this and basically how that, you know, spawned pretty much what you have now with Mackenzie and friends?
Yeah, so she was actually at a park playing in the neighborhood, and she was actually, at that time, I call her bonus mom. So she was with her bonus mom, yeah. And she was out there, she was playing. Of course, it's a playground, so it's plenty of children, right? And so the little girl walks up and says, who are you here with? She says, I'm here with my daughter, with my stepdaughter. And she was like, who? And so she points to my daughter, right? My little Mackenzie. Of course, my daughter, she's African American. Now, her bonus mom is not. That's why I said this diversity is important. Let me tell you, her bonus mom is not African American. And so when she pointed to my daughter, the little girl was like, ew, but she's Black. And so the bonus mom called me immediately and was like, Denisha, let me tell you what just happened. And I said, how old was the little girl? The little girl was around my daughter's age at the time. So I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it kind of hurt a little bit because I'm like, this isn't something that she just grew up knowing. This has been taught in the household. So for you to say ew, that's a big problem. That's a problem. And I know with these books, people like that, they're not gonna buy the books, right? Because you have to know who your target audience is. You know, they may not buy the books, and that's fine. But if we can get the books in the school systems, it doesn't matter what they learn at home. If they come to the schools and you're constantly promoting, you know, embrace others, you know, with love, regardless of how you look or whatever, they're still going to hear it. And eventually it'll change their mindset because it's constantly been thrown in your face. It's like a song when you listen to on the radio. You may not even like it. And they played a song, I swear, like 50 million, 11 times to the point where you driving and now you singing it. So it's the same thing, but that was very hurtful, to be honest with you, Ty, because you're so young, but yet you have this hate in your mind. But why? I don't know. But if it's not taught, those are the children that grow up to bully other children, you know, to make people feel bad because they're different. And I don't mean just different like skin. I mean different, like even with this, you have people with disabilities. You make them feel different, you know? It's just, I don't even know what to say on that, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, and let's just keep it real. You know, it's an issue that's going on in America every day. You know, every time, you know, you look up, you hear about an incident at schools all around the country, not just in one particular place, but all around the country. You know, even during like sports venues, you know, you had people be culturally biased, you know, towards, you know, another, you know, set of, you know, people or what have you by calling them names and slurs and things of that nature, you know, and to grow up in this day and time and to still have those types of attitudes, as you said, this has to be, you know, being taught at home, you know, like they're hearing this from other, you know, people around them that's like embedding, you know, these thoughts or what have you in them, because at its core, if, you know, like when you're talking about kids, and as you said, you've worked in, special education, you know, what have you, kids with disabilities, what have you, but kids, period. You know, all kids want to do is run, scream, and play. That's it.
That's it.
Like, I mean, and eventually they want snacks, but, you know, run, scream, play. Like, what they're screaming about, I have no idea. They have no idea. They just want to scream. They just like, don't ask us what it is about screaming that helps them, but I guess they're releasing emotion. I don't know, you know. But yes, I've like worked in the school as a paraprofessional, so you know, I've worked in the special ed, you know, field, and I know how they can be at times. Like, so yes, that's pretty much all they want to do at the course of the day. So to like have something like that and then have, you know, the bonus mom contact you and let you know what's going on, like, yes, you're going to feel hurt. Like, you know, why am I still dealing with this at the end of the day? Like this, like I'm dealing with this at the end of the day. Like there's so much more going on out here in the world, but I'm dealing with this at the end of the day. So
that doesn't even matter, you know?
Right.
It's a color. People drive black cars. Police wear black suits. Like, it's black. If you're so afraid of black, or, you know, I just can't fathom, like, I don't understand it. And it's really sad when it's children. So, I mean, we have to make a difference. We have to make a change out here because these children really are the future. They're going to grow up and be God knows what, right? The future presidents and everything else. And you want them to grow up in a world where they're treating people fairly, not unfairly. You know, when you have your daughter walking up to you saying, oh, mommy, why are the police doing this? Or mommy, she just asked me recently, mommy, why don't people like black people? How do you answer that question?
Well, I mean, okay, so
how to tell her?
Real, right? Because these are the conversations that I mean, I can definitely tell you schools are not having, because either they just don't want to have them or step on certain toes or what have you, or whatever. I can't get into that. But these are real life situations because every single day, even if it's not happening to them per se directly, they have these, okay, Denisha, they have these phones. You don't think that, hey, I'm scrolling on TikTok as much as I want to do a dance and all these other things. There are things that are on TikTok that I shouldn't be watching, that eventually I'm going to see because other people are going to make viral, So even if I'm not talking about it, there are other people around me who may be talking about it. Like, I talk about this sometimes, having that mindset, like, in counsel, because I'm a counselor in training, okay? I'm in school to be a mental health counselor. So we talk about professional identity. And basically in professional identity, you, Denisha Branch, have a professional identity. You are an author, you know what I'm saying? You're a mom, you're probably involved in community, activities and things at school or what have you. There's just certain things that you can't be out here doing that's going to mess up your professional identity. All right, like that takes away. I mean, if people see you being underhanded and things of that nature, well, isn't that Denisha, such and such's mom? But wait a minute, she's on the board of blah, 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 blah. And now it just doesn't go from you being Denisha Branch. Oh no, you Denisha such and such mom, Denisha on the school board, Denisha that's got that book series, Denisha. So all these titles. So when I talk about professional identity for children, I think we have to incorporate that because, who they are at home, they can't be outside in the real world. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to be, and I know it can be a little bit tricky, but it's something that we have to prepare them for because that's just where we are in today's society. And I just love the fact that your book offers diversity because you said you not only have Black, you have Latino, you have Asian representation in the book. And I think that's where my next question was going before I went out on a tangent. But let's talk about that type of diversity. Like, why is that type of cultural competency needed in books such as Mackenzie and Friends?
Yeah, it's needed because, again, it's all about the world that you're living in. As I stated previously, Charlotte is a melting pot, but I'm just in Charlotte. The entire world, when you think about it, is a melting pot. You don't just have, African Americans here, Hispanics here, Asians here. People are literally traveling from every country. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that they see. It's about identity. It's about, they want that, representation. Oh my gosh, I got a book that looks like me, because you don't see a lot of books. I mean, now artists are starting to write books, with a little bit more diversity, but for the most part, back in the day, you didn't see that. There was no representation, Ty. So it's important that they can see themselves. They can see, oh, that's me. Oh, let me give you an example. I went to a school. I can't call the school out, but I went to a school and I read the ABCs of Me book. And so I do like this Q&A with the children, right? Because I think it's important to have those open-ended questions. Like, I'm all about, promoting the education as well. So I asked them questions. And so one of the girls, she didn't have a question. I don't have a question. I said, okay, baby. I said, what is it, my friend? She said, now she was the only brown little girl in the class. She raised her hand and said, Miss Denisha, Mackenzie looks like me. So that's why it's important. So they can see themselves in a book. It's important. And when I tell you the teachers, because there were some African American teachers in there too. When I tell you, they was like, wow. Yeah, it's important. You don't want to turn on the TV and you see everyone else but you, because what happens is, think about it. I just talked about self-esteem, confidence, all of that stuff. If they're promoting every other race, right? You see every other race in books and TVs, social media, but you don't see yourself, what are you going to think? Not even as a kid. But even as a person, as a human being, what are you going to think? I'm not important. I'm not valued. I don't matter. People think that kids are not intelligent. Kids are very, as they say, muy inteligente. They're very intelligent. Okay? They can see, their eyes work. They can see when they're not being represented. And it's painful to them. They may not know how to verbalize it or put it together, but I will tell you, I don't know, this generation is a little different. So yeah, they do know how to verbalize it because they will tell you, I don't see myself. I see all these, I don't see any as my just I don't see any brown people. So it's important that children see themselves, whether you black, white, like I said, pink or purple, it doesn't matter. Representation does matter.
There it. Hey, look, there it is, y'all. I mean, I ain't saying, man, take it from the person like, man, that's creating this like content for you, but no, like you must see yourself or some aspect of yourself, have your story told or have a story told that you can definitely relate to, even if it's not, someone who looks like you per se, but someone who knows your story, and that is very true. Everything you talking about is true. So there it is, y'all. There it is. Okay. All right. So look, let me ask this question to you because, I like pretty much, what it is that you're doing and, you're on a mission. But I have a theme around here I call leaving empty. And by leaving empty, basically, yes, you're young, what I'm saying? You do have a life to, you have more life to live. You're raising your daughter and this, that, and the other. But as far as like your work now, even with like Mackenzie and Friends and everything that you're doing, when it's all said and done, what do you want your life's mission to be? Like, I have no regrets. I left it all out there, this, that, what have you. So when Denisha Branch leaves empty, what will her legacy be?
That's something that I've thought about, and I think about that a lot. And like I tell my daughter, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell my daughter. Because I tell her, I'm honest. We have candid conversations. When I leave this world, because one day I'm my footprint. I'm not gonna be here. So as far as my legacy, what I would like to leave is that it doesn't matter what you have in life, whatever goals you have, you can reach them as long as you're persistent and you're tenacious. Then there is nothing that you can't do within this world. Whether that's writing a book and changing the world, like in my case, I'm trying to change the world, one child at a time, one smile at a time, one book at a time. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my legacy. They're gonna say that Denisha Branch. I don't brought up the race because I'm from Rayford, so I'm real country. That Denisha Branch. That girl don't change the world, one book, one child, and one smile at a time. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to do it in various ways because I think it's important.
Okay. Well, first of all, shout out to Rayford. You know what I'm saying? All right, hey, look here, ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and represent. But look, no, it's funny. Because mindset, I talk about mindset a lot, and breaking out or breaking through a certain mindset that's built around you can be like trying to be a flower, trying to like grow in a plant full of, in like a vase full of or a jar full of weeds. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to be that rose sticking out and ain't nothing but these weeds around, like, man, like God, like, man, where all these weeds come from? You know what I'm saying? But like to have that mindset to like break through and be more than just what everybody is around you, that can be hard. And I do like the fact that you said that you are having those candid conversations with your daughter, because I think sometimes, we don't want to have those conversations, or if we do have the conversations, it's more of a talking at someone more so than talking to someone and trying to engage them and get their thoughts, so hats off to you for that. So, there it is. Now, if people want to learn more about you and everything you got going on via social media, websites, whatever, how can they do so?
Yeah, so you can definitely reach out to me, follow me, support me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Just type in Mackenzie Collections, and that's MAKENZIECOLLECTION. Not Mackenzie as an MC, it's MAK. And if you wanted to purchase a book for support as well, you can visit my website, which is www.mackenziecollections.com. And I'm also on Amazon as well. But definitely, if you go to the site, you actually get a signed copy of the book. On Amazon, it's not signed. So I do promote my website more so you can get a signed copy. Oh, and you can order stickers too when they're in stock. So
look.
Yeah.
Support people. Support, okay? That website, Mackenzie Collections. Mackenzie with a M-A-K. All right? M-A-K. Mackenzie. All right, folks?
Yeah.
For those of y'all that don't understand, but for those of y'all that do understand, y'all go ahead and make that happen. All right. Okay. All right. But I've come to the last question, the question that my show's known for, but I would love to get your answer to this.
Okay.
Miss Denisha Branch, what is the one word that best describes you and why?
Optimistic. And the reason why I say optimistic is because you know how you talk about mindset? When you're an optimistic person, because I'm going to be honest, you're going to face some challenges, right? And that doesn't matter. But when you can see the sun, when there's a storm that's passing through, you're going to always be on top. It may take you some time. When you're optimistic, everything around you changes. Even when bad things are happening, if you have that positive attitude, you will feel better, and your outlook will make you feel better. Instead of you looking at the glass half empty, you look at it half full. So for me, I would have to say I'm very optimistic because, like I said, it's life. Things happen, right? So, but you have to be positive and keep it moving.
Okay. Well, look, a word that people use a lot around here is resilient. And there's nothing wrong with being resilient, but I like the fact that you are teaching as well. So, man, like resilient teacher. All right, there it is. I know it's 2 words, but whatever. We can do that. It's my show, whatever. Anyway, but no, look, I love having you on here. I love talking about, what you have going on with Mackenzie and Friends. Whatever else you have going on, in the near future or whatever. Let me just say now, the doors to work with Ty Brownlow are open. You are always welcome to come back. I would love to have you again. And man, keep going, keep doing your thing. Man, look here, y'all, Mackenzie and Friends, MackenzieCollections.com. I believe that's the website.
Yes.
Okay, all right, y'all. Look, let's support. Go to that website, get the autographed copy, get some stickers, you know what I'm saying? Get some representation, for all my people, all my Spanish-speaking friends too, all y'all. Come on now. All right. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. You can follow me, all social media platforms, at Word with Ty Brownlow, or you can go to my website, tybrownlow.com, get this wonderful conversation, plus other great conversations as well. Miss Denisha Branch, we out. Peace, y'all.
We out. Thank you.